Chapter 1, Master Your Emotional Self. This is the first chapter of The Law of Human Nature, or The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. I haven't actually gone through this entire book yet, but every page that I've read has been great so far, and I'm reading this book concurrently with like 4 other books. I promise you, I will get through it in the next week, but I just thought this was so important that I need to share it. And the first chapter of The Laws of Human Nature is about controlling your emotions, understanding that the best decision is always made when you disregard your emotions, when you take your ego out of it, when you ditch any preconceived conceptions of this is right or this is wrong. You need to evaluate these circumstances for every single action and make the best decision that's going to benefit you the most. And the example that Robert Greene uses is Heracles, I think that's how you say it, but he was the king of Athens, and basically for 60 years when he reigned, he basically took all the partisanism out of government. Like, it was a democratically elected government, and basically the people would vote on certain decisions, and he would always come to the debates and always make the argument for both sides. He would always say, this side gives us this other side gives us this. Like, this is the best decision. This is going to benefit the state most. And there's a hard time that you're going to have to go against your friend. You're going to have to decide against something that it hurts your heart to decide that way, but it's the best decision for you. And it's like, it's really hard for us to do this, but I'm telling you, once you can start looking at your life in this way, once you can start evaluating the decision without your emotion, without your ego, it's the best possible way. Because think about all of the relationships that you've been in. Like, should you have stayed in them as long as you did? The answer is always no. There was always signs that you should have ditched this person way sooner, but because your heart felt good, because you remembered about the old times, because you remembered about this, like, you just put up with disrespect that you didn't deserve. You put up with a person that wasn't good enough for you, or you weren't good enough for them, or it was a mutual thing, but like it just wasn't working out. And because it wasn't working out, like, you made yourself unhappy. And because you couldn't ditch your emotions, because you associated your source of identity with this person, like, you just went in a relationship that you weren't happy in. And it's like, the ultimate goal of a relationship is to make you happy. I'm not saying that there's not ups and downs, but you should never be unhappy in a relationship. And it's like, I've experienced this so many times, and it's just like, why do I continue to do this to myself? And it's because I haven't mastered my emotions. It's because I haven't sucked up the gut feeling that it's like, I don't want to hurt this person I care about. Like, no, I have to do what's best for me. That other person has to do what's best for them, and they'll probably see in time that it wasn't meant to be. But at this moment, I got to rip that Band-Aid off. It's a simple look in the mirror, and you're like, I don't want to do this. This is against every gut feeling I have. This is against all of my emotions, but I need to do this because this is best for me. This is best for my future. This is best for my career. And it's like, these are the things that you need to start deciding on. And it's oftentimes lost in this day and age because you have to think about social media. You have to think about the news. You have to think about how everything is so partisan. Like, right now the election's going on in the United States, and one side is saying, oh, Trump is evil. He has all of these counts. He's a fraud. He's a huckster. He's done all of these horrible things. And the other side is saying, it's a sham trial, this, that, this. Like, and everyone has a different set of facts depending on what news source that you have. And it's like, we need to, instead of being partisan, we need to understand that who we elect is who the country is going to be represented by on the world stage. And it's like, why don't we put forward the best candidate? Why do we have to make it about the person that is being elected? It's always should be the best person for the job, and we're choosing between 2 bad people. And it's like, nobody is looking at who has the better policies. Nobody is looking at who is going to benefit the country most. Everyone is looking at, this person's the worst. Like, if you're on the right, you're just talking about Joe Biden and all the messed up stuff his son did. If you're on the left, you're just talking about how Trump is basically the next Hitler. It's like, there is no nuance to the argument. There is no conceptualizing of what the actual policies are. And even when you talk to people that are so-called educated, they cannot articulate their point. They can just say Trump is bad or Biden is bad. Like, there is nothing about policy. It's all these politicized ideologies and all of these key issues that the news likes to bring up because they are divisive. And it's like, instead of actually getting two good candidates, we've been reduced to this, and it's because we don't master our emotions. Anytime an argument happens at the Thanksgiving table, like, what I want you to do whenever somebody presents something to you, even if you completely agree with it, I want you to scrutinize it with the most amount of scrutiny that you can. I want you to really process the logic and really understand the argument and see if it's actually a good argument. And if it is, then that's the correct solution. And that's how we get out of this mess that we're in. It's like these people think that like Trump or Biden is some kind of savior. Like, nobody's coming to save you. The only person that's going to make a difference is yourself. You need to be the one that takes your situation out of the place that the government has control over you. I'm not saying become some radical. I'm saying, like, what I want you to start doing is, like, set your life up in a way where you have enough money where it doesn't matter if you get taxed, where it doesn't matter if food costs go up or gas prices go up. Like, set your life up in a way that none of these things affect you. And it's that simple, yet nobody wants to make this decision because they want to put off the responsibility onto somebody else. And it's a hard conversation that you're going to have with yourself, but you need to start mastering your emotions, and you need to start understanding that when you can master your emotions, you can master life. When you master your emotions, you have a leg up on everybody else because everybody else is ruled by their emotions, and this is something that you can use to your benefit, and it's something that you can also use to understand why certain people do certain things to you. Like, oftentimes people are rational after the fact. They're not rational when you're arguing with them. They're not rational when you're confronting them. They're not rational in the heat of the moment. But, give it 2 weeks, give it 3 weeks. They're apologizing and they're genuinely sorry. Like, the person you saw in that moment isn't the same person that you're talking to because now they mastered their emotions. So keep this in mind. I also want you to read this book because from the few hundred pages I've read, it's tremendous. Like, I'm almost halfway through it. I love it so much so far. That's why I shared it with you guys even before I read the whole thing, because I know the rest of it is going to be tremendous, and I cannot wait to get through every single page of this. So if you like this breakdown, if you want to hear more from me, stick around on the channel. This is a new addition to the channel. I've been doing the 48 Laws of Power, but this is going to be the next big book that I really break down every single chapter of, so stay tuned for that. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. I don't know if I said that yet. Thank you so much for making it this far. I will catch you in the next one. Peace out, guys.